Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I want to talk about something which has been in my head a lot recently, and that is the fact that in reality, stocks, crypto, or any other sort of investments is basically never going to make you rich. Now on the surface of it, that might seem like a very incorrect statement to make. For example, if you were to buy the right, let's say, crypto coin, one of these really small ones, and it blows up by, let's say, 10,000%, you put in X amount of money, you could very easily become rich. The problem with this, though, is it's something which people almost take for granted. I know a lot of people, and to be honest, at some points I've been there myself, who look at this as their escape route. When I talk about that, I'm talking about their path to essentially achieving the lifestyle that they want. It can work out that way, but the likelihood is quite slim. And even if it does work out that way, lessons learned can be missed. Now let me tell you about what I mean by this. So there's been times in the past, and this is completely true, where I've put X amount of money into the stock market or crypto, and let's say it's gone up by, for example, 100%. Now, obviously that is a doubling of your investment, but it depends how much you put in. If you put in, let's say, 25k, it's quite a sizable amount of money. Can move you up to that next step. Whilst this is good, the chance of hitting an investment opportunity like that is quite rare. And even if it becomes more common, with people suggesting that crypto or the stock market is going to come back and it's going to go better than ever, people fail to understand the point. So I have this conversation with people quite a bit. And it's quite funny because I was at university just the other day and I was talking to a guy about this. He's telling me about how he's invested in this and that crypto and it's going to be his ticket to getting rich. And I'm like, number one, that's the chances of it happening are slim. The chances of you buying at the exact right time and not getting sold out on, or just getting it all right, is quite slim to begin with. But let's just say, for example, it does happen. People take this as their opportunity to sit back and relax. Now, of course, you guys can do what you want. But I think there's a fundamental error with this way of thinking. So I'm not going to make it a secret. I've made some investments recently myself. I don't necessarily want or need to go into what they are, especially not in this video, but I want to explain a point. So any investment that you genuinely believe in, and you genuinely see as your opportunity to get an out, what people do is, let's say they got 5 grand, which in reality isn't that much money. So they put their 5 grand in and they hope for the rest of it, Maybe it's their savings and they go about their job or business or whatever it is. They go about doing their own stuff. Now what they fail to do is acknowledge that if this really is going to be their future, the issue is not one of holding. The issue is one of building that position, right? The issue is, for example, if you think this coin's going to go up by 1,000% or you think this stock's going to go up by 1,000%, the answer is not perhaps to sit back and wait for it to happen. It seems more likely that the answer is to stack more of it. One thing that I've really been focusing on, irrespective of any investments, and by the way guys, I'm not going to lie to you, right? I've made like a 30% return on certain cryptos in the last couple of weeks. I don't necessarily want or need to go into the details right now, but it's not bad. Now, I don't want to say numbers, but let me give you an example. I'm not saying this is my example, but I'm giving you it for an example. Let's say you put 10 grand into a crypto coin, or a stock, whatever it is, right? You put 10 grand in, it goes up 30%, you've got 3 grand. Depending on who you are, that could be a week's worth of money, a month's worth of money, 2 months worth of money, 3 months even possibly, depending on how much you need to live and whatever. And let's say, for example, I'm just giving you an example, right? We'll say it's 3 months. I'm not saying it is, I'm just giving you an example. Lots of people, and perhaps even me at some points in the past, would have sat there and said, well, I can now relax for 3 months, for example. This is not the answer and this is not the way. So now the way I look at it is 2 ways. Number 1, appropriate risk management, and number 2, position sizing, right? And this might sound like I'm going down a bit of a conversation, but obviously this is my opinions channel, right? I say whatever comes to my mind and I just discuss what's on my mind. So whenever that happens, I'm thinking 2 things. Number 1, I should have bought more. And that doesn't mean over leverage yourself, because what people, including myself, have done in the past, again when I was much younger, or quite a bit younger, I guess time just flies, there's been times where I have put, let's say, I don't want to go into the numbers, but what even to me now at 21 would be a lot of money. I mean a lot of money. It'd probably be a lot of money to a lot of adults. Probably more. It's quite funny actually. I mean, it's not really, but it's quite interesting. I mean, I've probably put more into certain cryptos or stocks than most people have ever seen in their lives, more than a lot of people's annual salaries. I've been very lucky. And you realise two things. Well, number one, if this goes down, which it could do at any point, you're going to need a backup option. Number two, if it goes up, you're going to wish you bought more. So I hear people talking about the fact that, I don't know, let's just say for example, Bitcoin's going to go up to 1 million. I'm not saying it is, it's just an example. And then I say, well, how much Bitcoin do you hold? And it's like, well, 0.1 or 0.04. Well, you're still not going to be rich. And then you get a lot of other people who go about the method of saying, well, I'm aware of this, so stuff like Bitcoin, let's say, is priced out of my price range right now. My opportunity is to go for these small coins. And the same is true with penny stocks. And I'm talking a lot about crypto, but crypto is obviously a hot topic at the minute. But the same's true with penny stocks or anything like that. So they put in, let's say, £1,000 or dollars, and they expect or hope it's going to go up by 5,000%, which would actually give them quite a lot of money. Now the issue with this is if it goes down to zero, which especially in crypto or even penny stocks can happen quite a bit, we've all seen it. If this goes down to zero, you lose £1,000. Now this sounds like obvious common sense, but people don't understand what this looks like. So if you've got a business, let's say, or a job where you're making, let's say, 6k a month as a figure, just an example, losing £1,000 probably wouldn't matter that much. However, if that's all of your savings, it matters a lot more. You see, guys, the dark side of investing is that every investment is a gamble. Every investment where you do not have a direct influence on market factors is a gamble. So you could wake up tomorrow and your stocks have gone down by 50%, for example. Just look at what's been happening recently with the Trump tariffs and all that sort of stuff, right? The issue is not whether to invest or not, because if you have belief in whatever it is that you're invested in and you've convinced yourself, then that's your business, isn't it? I'm not going to give you any kind of advice like that. Why the hell would I, right? It's not my place to do so. But what I will say is the stock market and crypto is not going to get you rich at these levels. Maybe it will, but the core message here is it's not the way you should be looking for this. The way that I think to look for it and the way that I'm looking for it is to try build. If you want to build money consistently, more stably, build a business, right? Build a business if you can. Or at least find some way to increase your income, because I've seen it before and I've seen it many times. People have a fairly low income, they put X amount of money into crypto and then it all goes to nothing. Or people do appropriate risk management, they create proper risk management profiles, but the issue is, because of that, they might be investing like £50. It's not going to be enough to change their circumstances, most likely. So yeah, the point of this video is, guys, it's not a case of looking for stock market or crypto to get you rich. It's a case of looking for the broader opportunities that you can capitalize upon and the businesses that you can build. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.